Hey, welcome back to Fluent English Talks. I'm Ben.
And I'm Anna, and welcome to week 2. If you made it through all 5 episodes last week, incredible. You did something most people never do.
You showed up every day. That's the whole game, honestly.
And if this is your first episode, welcome. You've picked a great place to start. Today's topic is practical, specific, and immediately useful.
Today, we're going back to shadowing. We talked about what it is in episode 1. We talked about why it works in episode 4. But today, we're getting very specific.
Today, we're talking about shadowing daily conversations, the kind of English you actually hear every day, at a café, on the street, between friends, at work.
Not formal speeches, not news broadcasts, not academic lectures. Real, everyday, informal English.
Because that's the English most learners actually need, and it's also the English that's hardest to find in a textbook.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so Ben, why daily conversations specifically? Why is that the focus today?
Great question. So, when most people think about practicing English, they think about formal or academic content, news, documentaries, business English. And that content has its place, absolutely.
But it's not what most people need most of the time.
Right. Most people need to order a coffee, chat with a colleague, make small talk with a neighbor, handle a phone call. These are the situations that come up every single day, and they require a very specific kind of English.
Casual English, relaxed English, English with contractions and filler words and informal phrases.
And that kind of English, informal, natural, fast, is actually harder to understand and produce than formal English, because it doesn't follow the neat rules you learned in school.
Native speakers swallow sounds. They connect words. They use expressions that aren't in any dictionary.
Exactly. Gonna instead of going to, wanna instead of want to, kinda, sorta, dunno. These aren't mistakes. They're just how people actually talk.
And if you've only ever studied formal English, hearing these can be really disorienting.
Very disorienting. You understand every word individually, but together, at speed, in a real conversation, it's a completely different experience.
So how does shadowing help with this specifically?
So, shadowing daily conversations helps in 2 big ways. First, your ear gets trained to the actual sounds of informal English. You stop hearing gonna as a mistake and start hearing it as normal, natural, expected.
Your brain recalibrates to real speech.
Exactly. And second, your mouth learns to produce those sounds because you're not just listening to gonna, you're saying it over and over until it comes out automatically.
And that's when it stops feeling foreign. It starts feeling like yours.
That's the moment when informal English stops feeling like a performance and starts feeling comfortable.
Okay, so what makes a good daily conversation to shadow? What should people look for?
So, a few things. First, it should be genuinely informal. 2 people just talking, not scripted, or if it is scripted, it should sound very natural. Think podcast conversations, YouTube vlogs, casual interviews.
Things where people are just being themselves.
Right. Where they interrupt each other sometimes, where they laugh, where they use real expressions, not where every sentence is perfectly formed.
Because that imperfection is actually the point. That's what real English sounds like.
Exactly. Second thing, it should be about something accessible. Everyday topics, morning routines, weekend plans, food, work, travel, things you have opinions about, things you can relate to.
Because if the topic is familiar, you can focus on the language instead of trying to understand the content.
Right. You already know what a conversation about weekend plans sounds like in your own language. So when you shadow it in English, your brain is just mapping familiar territory onto new sounds.
That's a really helpful way to think about it.
And third, it should be at a speed you can mostly keep up with. Not easy, slightly challenging. You should be stretching, not drowning.
The stretching zone, not the drowning zone.
Always the stretching zone. That's where learning happens.
Okay, let's get practical. Walk me through a shadowing session for a daily conversation, step by step.
All right, so let's say you found a 2-minute clip, two friends chatting about their weekend. Step 1, listen all the way through. Don't shadow yet, just listen. Get the gist. Feel the rhythm of the conversation.
Get comfortable with the voices.
Yes. Step 2, listen again. This time, read the transcript at the same time if you have it. Match the words to the sounds. Notice the contractions, the connected speech, the places where words blend together.
So you're building a map of the conversation before you shadow it.
Exactly. Step 3, shadow it. Out loud, full voice. Follow the voices as closely as you can. Don't worry about being perfect. Just stay with them.
And when you fall behind?
You catch up. Skip a word if you have to. Keep moving. The goal is to stay in the flow, not to get every single word perfectly.
Because flow is the skill, not perfection.
Flow is always the skill. Step 4, do it again. The same clip, 2, 3, 4 times. Each time it gets a little easier. Each time you catch a little more.
And something interesting happens on the third or fourth listen, doesn't it?
Yes, you start to anticipate. You start to know what's coming. And that anticipation, that brain internalizing the patterns of the conversation.
It's moving from conscious effort to automatic recognition.
Exactly. That's the shift you're looking for. And it happens faster than most people expect if you repeat the same material enough times.
Okay, I want to ask about something. A lot of learners get bored repeating the same clip. They want to move on to something new. Is that a problem?
It can be, because novelty feels like progress, but repetition is actually where the deep learning happens. Listening to something once, even if you enjoyed it, doesn't give your brain enough time to absorb the patterns.
It's like reading a book once versus reading it 3 times. The third time you notice things you completely missed before.
Exactly. So, my recommendation, stay with one clip for at least 3 sessions, 3 days in a row, then move on. You'll be surprised how much more you get out of it.
3 days on one clip. That feels counterintuitive, but I believe it.
It works. I've seen it work for so many learners. The ones who repeat, they improve faster than the ones who constantly chase new content.
Quality of repetition over quantity of content.
Always. In language learning, always.
Okay, one more thing. What about shadowing conversations where you only hear one side, like a phone call or someone talking to a cashier where you can't hear the other person?
Oh, that's actually a great exercise, because it forces you to infer, to imagine the other side, to fill in the gaps from context.
And that's a real skill, because in life, you don't always hear everything clearly. You have to piece things together.
Exactly. So don't avoid those. Shadow what you can hear, and notice how much you can understand just from one side of the conversation.
You understand more than you think.
Always more than you think. That's true for every learner at every level.
And that's it. Shadowing daily conversations. I feel like I want to go shadow something right now.
That's the best reaction. Go do it.
Your challenge for today. Find one short, informal conversation in English, 2 to 3 minutes. It can be a podcast clip, a YouTube video, anything with 2 people just talking naturally.
Listen once. Read the transcript if you have it. Then shadow it. Out loud, full voice, at least twice today.
And then come back to the same clip tomorrow and the day after. 3 days, same clip. See what happens.
Tell us in the comments, what kind of daily conversations do you find hardest to understand? Fast speech? Accents? Informal expressions? Let us know and we'll address it in a future episode.
Subscribe for a new episode every day. And if this podcast has been useful, share it. Send it to one person who's working on their English right now.
Transcript is in the description. Use it for your shadowing session today.
Thank you for being here. Week 2, Day 1. Let's keep going.
Take care of yourself, keep going, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Bye, and remember, the English you need most is the English people actually speak. Go find it, shadow it, make it yours.